issues. It's a new technology. So maybe I'll just launch a bit of 7 Days to Die instead.
Are you enjoying the newest update?
The newest update apparently has utterly killed formerly Socktopia, presently Cookie Land, which is the server I've been playing on. Socky the Real's stomping grounds.
Yeah, I saw Socky moan about it on my server. I discontinued paying for a server because of the update. It just wasn't worth it until they get their shit sorted. No real reason. Also, it was only Discnar and Socky playing anyway now.
Right. Volume needs to be balanced again. Really.
I'm so glad I didn't update anything. Sounds like Windows 10 is a fucking nightmare.
And now I have no access. Of course. Well, here we go. Yes, have you been playing on the latest version?
Me? No, I stopped playing when it came out.
Ah.
I'd be honest, after Moistonia, which was the first server I created on the one that I was renting, I kind of lost interest because, I don't know, I just moved on. I moved on to other games. I'll go back to it at some point, but it was essentially, when I had a look at it, a brand new version of it. They should have just sold it as a brand new game, to be honest.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
They didn't even fix all the problems in Alpha 16, so when they came to Alpha 17, they just had even more problems because they weren't ready for it. Like, it was like a Fallout game. It confused me. You needed updates to fix all the stupid shit.
I continue to be baffled by that. There are some very strange decisions made this time around. But as it was new to me still, I haven't quite burned it on yet. As a point of curiosity, what games are you into at this point? Besides Truck Simulator.
Probably Assassin's Creed. Vermintide's good fun.
Oh, we have Vermintide 2?
Yeah, Vermintide 2, yeah.
Ah, so do I.
I've got the first one. The second one, I need to sort out something for the newest update because there are 3 levels for it, but actually there's a 4th and it's hidden. You have to unlock a certain number of keys in each of the 3 levels to get it, and it's a 30-minute survival level. You have to just survive. And yeah, that suits me to a T. You unlock a special little a talisman of some kind, but yeah, I want to do that at some point. I want to play Magic the Gathering on PC.
Oh, Windsock, the Real has joined us in chat.
Are you stream back on?
Yes, finally got back on.
Is it a new stream? Oh, it's a new stream. Okay.
Inevitably. Again, the entire system locked up this time, so everything had to be started up.
Okay. What are you on 7 days then, yeah?
Yes, I am.
In a lab.
Well, yes, one of the bright sides of everything being started over with the latest version of the game, well, ruining everything, is that I got to claim dibs on one of the pre-existing facilities.
Seemed appropriate, of course.
Oh, I think so. Rushed up to level 10, got a nice little forge going, just need to feed it a bit more steel. Unfortunately, one of the really baffling decisions they made in the game is that now there are a lot of things that are locked behind levels.
Yes, I actually think that's a good thing though, because if you're able to build everything straight away, then you lose a certain element of challenge.
Yes, so and I suppose they're trying to make you feel grateful when you find iron tools and then keep them repaired, when you can't actually make any iron tools until level 25.
Okay, that could be quite irritating.
Yes, it is. I am very sick of this stone axe right here. Very, very sick.
But you two have been through so much together. Hey, if it treats you well enough, why don't you put a ring on it?
Hasn't treated me anywhere near that well. Besides, I've destroyed it 3 times now just to get it to a higher quality. Even though they just spreads out the time I have to wait for feeding it another stone to repair.
Is that a shop or a castle? Oh, it's a trade. Right. That's different.
Hey, Dorkorkle, are you still there? I'm guessing.
Yes, sorry, someone was trying to call me on Discord.
Oh, no. I'm trying to make a short list of people who could manage chat for me. Angry Foeman has been so kind as to do so in most cases. But now that I'm streaming with Direwolf Media, there are more chat to keep track with than, well, quite frankly, I have the slightest chance of keeping up with on my own.
So, there's
What do you
Direwolf squads in your chats that you looked up?
Well, basically, I have a list of the various streams go out on, channels, that is. Oh dear.
Oh, you're multi-streaming.
Direwolf Media does quite a bit. I'm multi-streaming right now, as a matter of fact, and I'm going to die.
Lol. Sorry for your loss.
This is what hubris gets you. Got very cocky. Wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Pressing all the other chats and whatnot.
Every time Direwolf Media streams and they stream on your channel, it always like goes, wait, Arketer's streaming, and then it's like Direwolf, and like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's very funny, Saki.
So I'm surprised you can. I just realised I could turn this up to 1080p on your stream. That's impressive. I don't normally see streams go that high. But it's nice to see things clearly.
Yes, I've been trying to give the games front and center if I'm going to stream anything.
Well, if your internet can handle it, why not just bump the bitrate right up? It's a good idea.
Yes, I've recently resigned to myself to drinking myself on screen a bit as well.
Yeah, you were getting fat. You're right.
I need to get back to the gym.
Just messing with you, I'm not.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah, but that's true. We just fight your chance.
Oh well, let's call it Christmas wait, shall we? It's only mid-February, you've got plenty of time to be beach body ready and look fabulous in a bikini.
Yes.
If you crouch, normally you can do more damage with your shots.
Yes, I managed to figure that one out.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so you could have the same outfit as Freud from Super Friends.
Wait, what?
Super Friends.
You can have the same outfit as Sigmund Freud from Super Science
Right,
Friends.
I can explain this. Are you familiar with the Super Science Friends, Omegon?
The name rings a bell, but no. Let's go with no.
Well, the
Wait.
Super Science Friends are a comedy animation series, one of the few surviving on YouTube. And recently they did a new special, super special episode, Full Metal Scientist, in which they departed from their usual art style to make an anime episode.
Mm-hmm.
The Super Science Friends team comprises Tesla, Albert Einstein's young clone, Sigmund Freud, and of course, Darwin. And someone else who makes a lot of rather disturbing potions. Needless to say, Sigmund Freud had an entire magical girl transformation sequence. It was very apt. But I don't think anyone needed to see Sigmund Freud in a Zardoz costume with panties on his head.
I'm sure they did really.
I never heard him laugh so hard before.
And okay, native. This is on a server. Pookieland server these days. Oh right, it's almost night time. Isn't that going?
Yay! You're gonna get butt fucked.
It's not looking good.
To edit Arketer's face onto that little clip.
Are you trying to give people meme ideas, Steam?
No.
Why do that? We just go to your server and pick up any one of those pictures.
Ah, yes, Furman's collection. I've been meaning to put that to, I don't know, maybe Enya's only time.
You're not a bad shot with the compound, though.
Thank you.
No fair few people who suck balls with them, and it's just embarrassing.
Messages from my ostensible boss. But hey, if they're saying lol, then I'm probably not fired yet. To bring you up to speed on that, Omegon, I did a stream, an interview with Tranime Girl. My new set and everything. It went pretty well overall, but I made the mistake of referencing a video I made on sex bots, the sex bot threat, which used some footage from The Guardian. And naturally, all recordings of the stream are now flagged and prevented from being seen anywhere because The Guardian claimed it.
Oh dear.
You should surely supersede that.
You would think, but I know what happens if I dispute it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That said, I do know how to fix it to where it won't automatically be flagged.
Yeah, you could fuck with the metadata.
It's a shame as well because I got Arketer to ask Tranime Girl how deep is a trans vagina.
Well, I asked if they had any custom orders.
If you think that's... I thought it was quite odd that I saw an article, and I had to put it on my server because I was kind of intrigued, where some trans women can now get a artificial uterus inserted to grow, potentially have a child, and I thought that was... The science behind that is absolutely fascinating.
It is. I didn't think that was possible.
Oh yes,
Yes.
This was an article from Saki the Real, in fact. I didn't get a chance to show it on stream, it arrived a bit later, but I did get a chance to read it. And the idea of putting a deceased woman's uterus in a trans woman's body, you know,
It's interesting.
if the family signs off on that, then what room is there for objection? But
I mean, if the woman who's passed chooses to give it up, then fair enough.
Indeed.
I don't take issue with that. Part of me when I first saw the article was like, if they say football and use a fucking football for a uterus, I'm gonna get triggered to shit. But no, they actually have something to work with, and I think that's fascinating. I don't actually know many trans women who actually want kids, so it must be low demand, surely.
You would think. By the way, Arketer, yes, you can one-shot them if you're crouching and they're not awake.
Look at that bitch, she was hiding up in the rafters. Phantom of the Opera.
Oh dear.
Didn't pan out. Yes, I quite agree overall. If everyone's on the same page, that's fine. What I wonder is that, strictly speaking, there is no way a resulting child from a dead woman's uterus, eggs, that's their kid, genetically speaking.
Yeah, so there is something else that I had to ponder, and I don't know whether or not there was an answer for this, because say that woman, that trans lady gets pregnant, right? She's got a uterus, yes, but it's still biologically a man's body, so it's not going to interact the same way with that uterus that a woman's body would. And that has
body's
been
not
really...
made to stretch.
Well, yeah. Well, yes, but it just has me wonder how the biologically male body will deal with that, because I don't know whether or not it'll be with additional hormones and lots and lots and lots of doctors probing or not, because I don't know.
Well, yes, even if they go on additional hormones, you got to wonder what all those hormones would do to that child during the pregnancy.
At this point, you may as well just put the kid in a test tube. No, I don't know. I need to know more about it. It's interesting.
What?
Oh, nothing. I just hurt myself.
Oh.
Accident.
She hurt her uterus.
Well, all right then.
Sorry, but thanks.
Stop probing so deep.
Now, I know they don't intend, in these cases, where they're going to implant a hypothetical family volunteered uterus, to bring the child to term and give birth naturally. They're planning for C-section.
Oh, God. Oh, cesareans creep me the fuck out. So badly. One of my sisters has to have them now with her kids because of the nature of her first childbirth. And she's having a third child. And I've been told details I don't need to know, and it just scares me so badly. And someone in the chat, women have extra vertebrae, which allows better balance when pregnant. A trans man doesn't get that. I didn't know that. If that's true, that's actually interesting. But men do have something that gives them greater balance. If you think of them like a feline, they have whiskers. And they supposedly help cats, and men are totally cats, so they can balance. You're fine.
Although, I would imagine that in trans cases, I could be wrong, but I think most elect to shave.
Hey, they could take 9 months off.
It's interesting also that, like, with the extra vertebrae and, a woman's tailbone actually curves inward, whereas a man's tailbone is straight up and down, and the way
that explains
a
so
woman's
much.
back
Fucking
reshapes.
coccyx. Have you ever landed on your coccyx? Yeah. Oh my God, it hurts so much.
Yes, I have.
Oh, just thinking about that hurts. No. I think I know someone who broke theirs, and I just feel so bad for them. But then you can also feel it. No, we don't need this.
There's more chances of a man doing that considering it goes straight up and down. But, like, the thing about when a woman gives birth in the tailbone actually moves outward as, you're dilating and the baby comes through and stuff. So, like, everything reshapes for some reason.
Arketer, you might want to hide somewhere soon, by the way.
Well, if I can make it past this mob, I should be just fine. But it's about time to head back to the, well, I think.
Yeah. I'm very interested about this,
Level 11.
trans pregnancy stuff. It's fascinating.
Oh, yes, it's quite,
Well, it's saying, oh, I can have a kid. Right. But biologically, you really can't. So it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, they can
Most of
biologically
the
have someone
time-
else's kid.
I'm not trying to... Go on.
Sorry. Most of the time, trans men to women usually save their sperm so they can have a child with their DNA, or like they go off hormones for that same reason. I've not heard of this new thing. It's
That's...
interesting.
I picked out a great
Isn't
time
that a
to
borderline
walk
Cartman
this road.
situation? So, say someone freezes their sperm, goes transitions, and then, once they've achieved this feat, fertilize the borrowed eggs with their own sperm.
Well, they literally fuck themselves.
That sounds weird. Is that normal? Does that happen on?
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, howdy, Saudis, boys and girls. Amigo, nice to meet you. If you're here, Director,
Greetings.
Oracle, and Miss Streamer.
Hey.
How
Oh,
are you all
I
doing
come
today?
on, be sidetracked what I was trying to say earlier. I'm trying to compile a short list of alternative chat managers. Angry Phone has been so kind as to manage chat on Saturdays. I have a guest, hopefully, including poor boy Pat Saturday. Not counting on that. Fingers crossed.
Well, that'd be nice to have Pat on your show.
I hope he can make it. No one's told him yet that I'm going to make him an avatar as well.
I kind of a dick for whenever I think about C-sections, I always think about that alien scene. Being bursting out someone's stomach.
Aliens.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm going to check something on my server because apparently the voice chat isn't working. Back in a minute.
Oh.
Cheers.
Well, that was nice. It's always good to have little chats with a Megan, isn't it?
Oh, apparently they don't have extra vertebrae, but rather a component that spans over.
A Megan's an invertebrate. No bone, no back.
This is a matter of debate. I never covered this topic, but they have a headache, and presumably have a skull. Headache to resolve.
They have a headache?
But not
What?
actually. Oh, by the way, Saki, come get your bike. It's right here. Right here.
Oh, we lost Dorky.
Let's see.
Oh, well.
Extra
How
vertebrae.
are
They
you
don't
two
have
doing
extra vertebrae.
anyway?
That's right.
How's your day
And-
going? Got any plans for whatever's going on for whatever time zone you're in?
Wait, what?
I'm asking how your day is going. Have you got any plans for your time zone that you're in? Because I'm in Australia and it's currently 7:14 a.m.
Well, my
Oh,
plans for the time
700.
being are largely playing random games and something or other. I'm trying to take a more lackadaisical approach with my regular channel stream because my professional-ish stream things taking place Wednesday and Saturday are going over the Direwolf Media Network's channels.
Yep, I've been noticing that I'm Jimmy Hats, by the way.
Oh, I had no idea. Well, which do you prefer to be called, actually?
And Knives is just fine. If you want to be more formal, you can call me LT.
Okay.
I did serve in the ADF, Australian Defence Force. Granted lieutenant rank. And, yeah, been overseas, Middle East. Can't tell you where, because
Classified.
advanced
You'd
rank
have to
on
kill me.
AK sniper. A lot of Muslims don't like me. So you can see my kind of position here. Also, cancer and being crippled. By the way, Director, do you have a cure? You're a doctor. Can you fix my spine?
I'm not a medical professional. I've been over this before.
Oh, oh dear. It's just that little crystal ball thing. I thought it was magic.
Crystal. Oh,
I've seen you play with a crystal ball before on the stream.
when you say the plasma balls, yes, not really good for that exactly, and magic is not really my department. If you're looking for hypothetical magic, then you need to go to McDog. He's a necromancer, though, so you might not like this.
I'm gonna put things inside me that I don't want. Do you know how many tentacles he has? It's scary.
With
Oh,
McDog?
yeah.
I wasn't aware McDog had any tentacles. Did I miss something?
Pardon?
Arketer, what kind of scientist are you again?
Oh, so I see the question from Oki. Now, what kind of weird doctor am I? You'll note that my title isn't actually doctor, it's director. Director Arketer, thank you very much. I am not a mad scientist. I would like to think I'm. More accurately, I manage those. I'm what might be more accurately termed a super science bureaucrat. It's not that glamorous in practice. But, you know, someone has to manage things.
What you're telling us, Director, is that you're pretty much Rick from Rick and Morty in real life. Correct?
Because Rick does claim to be a
Rick,
super
I-
scientist,
don't be
super genius
coy.
who's
I
popping
know what
dimensions
your
and crap like
plan
that. We have to do that a bit more. Well, it's a lot more limited. You know, not being a cartoon and all.
That's why I said.
So you're
Rick
so
is
you're a
right.
science bureaucrat. So that means you're almost as evil as me. Got it.
Well, I suppose to a degree. I mean, technically I am the highest authority of Arketer Labs, which is really only fair, founding it and directing it and all. Although, even I am not on a free reign exactly. That's why we developed the Arketer Labs Ethics Committee, for example. The Ale Committee, because I thought it's fun that way. Help in the long run. No sense of humor.
Yeah,
None.
people-
Not a single one of them. Put some people in charge of ethics, and it's all deadly serious business all the time.
Ah, so you employed French people. Got it.
Well, probably. But we didn't officially discriminate on that gesture. At that point. But not on
I
the Ale
don't know
Committee, I
why
don't
he would
think.
hire. Why would he hire French people? They'd surrender the first time they see a molecule.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
Oh, I don't know. They can't possibly have killed off everyone with a spine. Who's rioting otherwise? It's just that apparently they've got the biggest hate on for other French people.
Oh, definitely.
When it comes to wars, not so much. But their fellow countrymen messing with them, they're totally down to throw down.
Oh, they get right savage. Now, director, if it's not too forward of me to ask something of you,
Well,
do you mind?
I don't mind being asked any questions
nothing
whatsoever
nefarious.
that aren't.
It's nothing nefarious. Nothing at all.
I just reserve the right to answer, not answer, or lie gratuitously.
All right. Well, I would like you to put your best impression of Rick on. Can you do that? You're gonna need some soda water.
You know, if I'd been watching some Rick and Morty episodes quite recently, I could probably pull it off. It's been a while, though. I kind of lost touch after the end of the third season, was it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You gotta suck my dick, Morty. You
Yeah.
gotta suck my dick.
That's pretty much it.
Hmm.
That's his mannerisms.
I got the mannerisms and the voice.
Only I
Yeah.
had some vodka. But I'm afraid my weekly ration has already been tapped out. Right. Hmm.
Oh dear.
And
All I
so,
got is a bag of pills.
you know, how much trouble can I possibly get in for just having a bit of audio from a Rick and Morty episode?
Not a lot.
Adult Swim are actually pretty. They're one of the very few companies that actually respect fair use. So, that's what they claim.
Yeah. Anyway, besides the point, I just really can picture you, director, as being the real life Rick.
My
You
drinking
do like-
isn't nearly
you
that
do
out of
something.
control.
Pardon?
My drinking isn't anywhere near that out of control. It's totally managed.
Of course it is.
Surprise for you, middle of the night. What are you talking about? Come on, I got a surprise for you. Come on, hurry up. Gotta get out of here.
You got a problem, Morty? You? No.
No, not quite there.
You gotta set things right, Morty. You gotta go right now. No, that's terrible.
There we go.
That was pretty good.
Was
Yeah,
it?
That's it.
He doesn't sound right roundhead thinking nothing does.
Well, let the ad lib flow, basically.
Director.
We gotta kill the zombies, Morty. We gotta shoot them through the eyes.
Yeah,
Through the eyes,
there
Morty.
we go. You even got the burp in there too. Well done, brother. Well done.
Most kind, most kind.
That just made my morning. Thank you.
Oh, always happy to entertain. If I wasn't going to do that, there would be no point in starting the stream in the first place.
If you would really entertain me, you'd be on a stripper pole and be throwing dollar bills at you. But that's me.
Yeah, I'm perhaps not quite that dedicated. Besides, I'm pretty sure that past a certain point of clothing removal, it's going to get flagged.
You did twerk for a Megon.
Yep.
Yes, and
also-
I've never left
and
it down
also,
since, so
show
I wouldn't
off
hold your
your
breath on a
pants.
repeat performance.
You also
And
have to
also-
prove you were wearing pants. Twice.
I couldn't believe I still couldn't believe that he actually went up on the camera and basically thrust it at the camera.
Yeah.
That was the
That was
last
so
stream,
funny.
and that was because I had to prove once and for all, as super chat provoked by Vincent Veritas himself, one of the 3 big minds behind Direwolf Media, that I do in fact wear pants. Apparently, this is something that they didn't believe.
I didn't believe it until you showed me.
Well,
Awesome.
nevertheless, there it is. I do wear pants regularly. You can just assume they're there. And if I'm not, well, no one should know anyway, right?
Well, I must say you do fit them very well.
Thank you. I'm flattered.
Yeah, but 90% of the time he's just wearing the Arketer, like the lab coat and everything, and then he's wearing boxers underneath. Just when he does interviews, he wears trousers.
No. Again, mostly step 1 on any stream is pants on. Step 1, pants on. I may not be the best of professionals on this whole streaming on YouTube thing, but I do at least see to that part.
But I mean, like, I don't have pants.
I'm assuredly wearing pants right now.
No, I don't wear. I'm not wearing trousers or pants. So.
Oh my.
And my viewership just went up by 3.
Bullshit! It went up by 3.
Well, I'm exaggerating a bit. It probably needs some time for word to get around. A lot faster if you were on camera.
Oh my.
He's been doing this to me. Like first the foot porn, then the jiggle my boobs for 10 seconds and get more views than. Think about
These
jiggle
aren't
my boobs for
demands,
10
they're just
seconds
observations of
and then my
reality.
channel
Strictly
will get
speaking,
more
yes.
views than-
If you came on stream and jiggled your boob for 10 seconds, it would be a record viewing in no time. If you did on your own stream, you would probably see tremendous growth, possibly in person.
Jesus. I can't laugh anymore. It really hurts.
I think he just wants to. I think he just wants to see steam boobage.
No, this has not been a demand of mine ever. You already flashed your controllers at us. Thank you very much.
You're not.
Well, that's because you sent me an unsolicited bone.
But to be fair, it was actually a plastic bone.
Oh, thank God.
And mine was plastic controllers.
I guarantee you, if anyone claims I've sent them a dick pic, they're lying.
Yeah, we made like apparently everyone was like sending nudes around, and it was a whole controversy. So we just made fun of the controversy with puns.
I've never understood the universal internet fascination with dick pics in general. If someone isn't volunteering them, it seems that people are generally very concerned with what other people's dicks look like. Like, take the Tonka incident. A lot of people on Twitter apparently really want to see his dick. Why?
Why?
Because they feel it doesn't work. They need photographic... I don't know. There are a lot of things to give Tonka grief on, but I wouldn't imagine that would be rationally one of them.
That just seems silly.
It is pretty silly.
Ugh. I mean, I will admit, when I was younger, in high school, I believe, middle school for um, we didn't have camera phones at the time. Most of the phones we had were pretty much those brick things. So yeah, no dick pics there. But a bunch of girls followed me into the boys' washroom and told me to present myself. So I did. I mean, that's kind of the extent of it.
Wait. Who told you to present yourself? One more time.
What'd you say, director?
You said someone told you to present yourself.
Oh, the girls in high school.
Oh. Oh, you're awfully obliging.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was kind of like a peer pressure sort of deal.
Fair enough.
My friends are outside, and the girls followed me to the bathroom or the washroom, whatever you want to call it. And everyone's cheering me. I'm like, fine, I'll do it. Jeez.
You had a very different high school experience to me. It's clear.
You want me to get started on my sex ed experience? Seriously, do you want me to get
No,
started?
no, actually. I have a feeling that could backfire.
Okay, fine. I'll just leave it at it involved a mango. Oh, a sliced mango, sorry.
Go faster. Definitely faster.
I have a sneaking suspicion I'm a little older than you there, director.
A little more what than me?
A little older?
That's possible. I'm not inclined to compare numbers, though.
We don't have to, but yeah, from the conversation we just had, yeah. It could be different, though, and I believe you're in the Americans, right?
Yes, well, originally American at the very least. I came from Texas, although many might say I'm not exactly
not
a typical
America?
Texan.
Haven't been to Texas.
See, with Americans, I have two things with Americans. There's the North, and then there's three things. There's the North, there's the South, and then there's the weird accents from like Boston, New York.
What, you mean Brooklyn Rage?
Yeah, like that. Like basically, there's the North, there's the South, and then there's the weird middle, and that's it.
What are you talking about? What was this? What's this weird middle?
Weird middle is like people who like Boston accents and New York accents.
Joyzy?
This
Talking about New York, Marla.
Oh, and greetings, Dylan Rush. Sorry. Also, they're thanking you, Steam. What did you do?
What did I do? I don't think I did anything.
What did you do for Dylan Rush, Steam?
I didn't do anything with Dylan Rush. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Hang on, one sec. Let me.
What did you do to Dylan Rush?
Didn't do it. No, I seriously don't know.
Oh, they're taking offense because they're New Yorkers.
Oh, okay.
They're just incensed and just they're seething, filled with rage. Also, they're gay.
And I'm bi.
Director? Come on.
The just sheer amount of fury contained upon these small words in the chat, it's undeniable, really. That's how Twitter works, right?
You just shattered my image of you by saying that. I mean, I never expected those words to come out of your mouth.
What words? There are quite a few that went out quite thin.
They're gay. Like, I don't care if people are gay or whatnot, but still, yeah.
Well, they said they're gay. I didn't say they're gay. And I also didn't say anything negative to this end.
Okay. Maybe I misheard you. Sorry, I've got tinnitus.
I have quite a few gay guests on stream, in fact. I believe one of my first interview streams was with a very gay redneck gent on the Direwolf Media Network. He's had... I don't really know what he looks like because he had his camera set high, but he had a very nice hat.
Oh, neat. Yeah, I got no problems with him myself. But
Quite.
I think I just misheard you, dude. But I was just shocked. Like,
What
wow,
did you
this is
hear?
Arketer's been streaming with a bisexual woman for like.
That's why I was shocked. It's like, wait, what? Sorry, big misunderstanding.
White. You've been talking to Sir Adamantine, haven't you? Oh, another YouTuber accused me of being a homophobe because I streamed the wrong...
I would never accuse you of being a homophobe. I was just shocked that you said those words in the one sentence that I misheard.
Arketer.
What?
Sexual.
What?
Bisexual.
What?
You're sexual?
I'm bisexual.
This I've known
Oh,
before.
she's bisexual. I get it.
Like... the...
It's hard for you to understand, but you have to put
I
aside
don't
your
think
own
any sort of
experience.
hypothetical bisexual bias has ever been registered against women, at least. And I think it's one of those things that kind of chalk up as hot in all cases.
Is it even a thing in most Western countries at all? I mean, really? Oh, I'm bisexual. Let's give me some advantages or something.
Yeah.
There's nothing but adventures.
Well, there
I mean-
apparently there's a National Bisexual Pride Day on Twitter, but then again, I don't know who keeps on handing out these holidays. I don't think they're being very thoroughly vetted. Oh, and greetings, Adelinda Dragon Queen.
Oh, yeah, the LGBTQ community wants to get rid of the B. We have quote unquote too much representation.
Wait.
Get rid of
Why on
B
earth did
as
they try to get
Q?
rid of B before Q?
I have no idea.
There's been no clear
Okay,
definition what
okay.
Q is in the first place.
Have you all heard about the idea of adding P to LGBT?
No, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's unacceptable. It's sheerly unacceptable. And this is one of the finest things I've seen in the LGBTQ, whatever additional letters they've added since, community, is that most of them seem to realize what a horrible idea that is. You know, it's like, hey, let's go ahead and take all those really horrible, slippery slope arguments that were fought so hard against and make them reality. Great idea.
Ugh, no.
What could go wrong? And their media,
I gotta.
some of the worst imaginable.
Hang on, wait a minute. Did you say T or P?
P for P.
Oh, okay. I'm an idiot. Because I was going like, wait, what's wrong with trans people? And then I was like, oh shit, no.
No.
Yeah. Now, little story from Australia here. There was a law that was almost passed. It only just scraped by getting dismissed by a 3-1 sort of vote, where they were going to allow immigrants from Middle East and whatever countries, Muslims especially, to bring their child wives with them and be legally married to them here in the country of Australia.
Oh, they've already legalized that in Germany.
Yep.
That's
They
not,
wanted to bring it in here.
again, quite unacceptable. Dylan Rush informs us that So Stupid at least no is a sexuality. I'm not sure if no is a sexuality, but, well, why not? And the adding of a P to the name is an alt-right scam. You know, I hear that, and I'm sure there are a lot of alt-righters who are really amping things like that up because, well, it's not too hard to find the fuel. Pink News and other agencies, other gay blogs and media sources, really don't do anyone any favors when they start backing cases like Lactatia and Desmond the Exploited.
Oh my god.
That feeds right into that narrative that someone's trying to tack in a P over there, and that can't be tolerated at all. Mind you, whenever this topic comes up, someone else always points out that you had those underage girl beauty pageants that used to be so popular, the likes of which dance moms used to cover the parents' hypothetical of.
There's some.
Yeah.
Those weren't acceptable either.
Beauty pageants is straight up. Child beauty pageants is straight up fucking child abuse and should be illegal.
It should be illegal, and it's deeply troubling that those things are allowed to exist. You would think that this would be easy work for the FBI. Yeah, but they don't dance sexually, though. Again, Desmond was in a gay bar having dollars thrown at him in a Lady Gaga costume. That kind of bucks this claim. And I know plenty of drag queens who might be inclined to say that being a drag queen is in itself a rather sexual thing. Desmond himself is not trans yet, but claims he's gay because he likes boys. But at age 11, that's pretty typical. A lot of boys like boys that age and are not, in fact, gay. Or bastard. But this is a downer topic. These things are supposed to be fun.
My brother was 100%, was 100% certain he was straight. He turned out to be gay. At his age, my brother thought he was 100% straight. He was gay at
Kids
the age
don't
of 16.
know anything. This is why they're kids. They're allowed to. Are we guys talking on Restream? I'm Restreaming. There could be someone ranting at me on the chat on Twitch or stream.me right now that I'm entirely missing. For that person, please go ahead and pop into the... So I could, like... Can you put those other channels to better use?
And the whole, I don't like people using the beauty pageant argument because it's a shit argument. It's like, oh well, we have beauty pageants, and I went, yeah, we do, and they should be illegal because it's straight up child abuse.
You're welcome to. If you have access to the Discord server, this is open mic and all slots are not filled. I don't think Omegon's coming back anyway, so they're free spot on that point as well.
Yeah, and it's just like,
Dear director, may I ask if I can get a link to said sites you're streaming on? Because I was just looking for it on YouTube, thinking you.
Where is this from?
Your streaming site, so I just pop in and give you a view.
Oh, so there was someone in the streaming chat. Well, that's new. I should probably look into that. Hold on. Let me get someplace where zombies won't eat my face while investigating this.
Brains.
Or...
don't worry, I'll invite him.
Oh, that works.
Not hard, anyway.
Appreciated, team. And I can see about that stream.me chat.
And come on.
Well, that can't be right. I think I must have misheard you. There's absolutely no activity in the streaming chat whatsoever. Typical.
You'll get there one day, big boy. Trust me.
We'll see. I'm blindly fumbling my way towards mediocre, hypothetical. Yes.
Well, how many subscribers are you up to?
Oh, the log channel has about 200 now.
Oh my.
And of course, the canned content is around 900. It would be a lot more, of course, if it released canned content on a regular schedule as initially planned. I've
Well, you're
kind of
very
painted myself into a
charismatic, I
corner
wouldn't
because I'm due
try.
to make part 3 of How to Destroy Enemies with Their Own Applause, and the best topic for that is feminism, but there's just so much to cover. It truly is the best way to really embrace despising an entire 50% of the population.
I'm gonna make a joke here. Just like a feminist, there's a lot to cover there.
Yes. Plainly.
And also, you are very charismatic. I hope I'm saying that right.
Charismatic. Thank you. I am. Well, I'm trying, I guess. And greetings, Vincent Veritas. Feel free to pop in as well.
Vince, he doesn't like to talk to people.
Oh. Is there some beef between you and Vincent Knives?
No, he's just antisocial. He's
Oh.
mean. He's big, meanie, poopy face.
Fair enough then.
By the way, anyone who's listening, go subscribe to Vince Veritas.
Yes. I believe I'm also contractually obligated to, most cases. Very well, Vincent. Attend to your perfectly legitimate business first instead, I guess. I know how much I mean to you now.
See what I mean? He's so
Oh, I
cool.
push it.
I still haven't got that link to see the stream yet.
Oh, that should be in general, according to Steam. Oh, but there might be a new one after that whole unpleasant crashing business.
Oh no! Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not there.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
Steam
I
might
did it.
beat me to it.
Gotcha.
One of those will do. See, I thought this is
Yeah.
the confusion. I thought you said someone in the stream in me chat was already saying this. That's why I was a bit off.
Yeah, I'm a very confusing person. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, very kind, Vincent. Apparently, you're the terrible person, Knives. I'm just great. I'm actually glad to hear this because I wasn't necessarily certain I was still on good terms after being a previous stream that's technically theirs, copyright blocked.
I'm not gonna get an insult, am I?
Wait, what? You know, I need to stop
Sorry?
saying that. It's starting to become a bit repetitive. And if I'm going to have a catchphrase, I can surely do better than wait, what?
That's my line.
I'm a bit jealous of that. I don't have a catchphrase as I can see it. Mine, Magog, of course, has ass rape, and then there's Megon's moist, and I've made figurines
Moist.
shrining those just fine, but I don't think I really have anything for myself. Progress continues, ostensibly, is the outcall phrase, but it doesn't have that snap.
You have ostensibly progress continues.
Yes. More of a slogan. That's an abbreviation of my actual
No.
slogan. So long as progress
You
continues,
also-
success is inevitable.
You also randomly scream science.
No, that's me trying to describe my genre. My idiom.
Do you hear that?
I have science.
That's a sign of science not happening. Science.
Use more science. Always use more science! Which reminds me, Wednesday's stream is going to be interesting because one of the things I'm going to cover is, has everyone thoroughly pondered exactly how much fun kill drones can be? Someone's put a lot of thought into it, and they've made an excellent video, complete with a TED Talk, showing off a wonderful breed of new mini micro drone that doesn't exist quite yet, but it's almost inevitable. Little flying
I
bullets.
think I may have seen that, but I wasn't sure if it was real or not.
Oh no, it's not real. It's propaganda,
Okay.
basically, but it's presenting an entirely plausible scenario.
Are we talking about those little tiny little drones in the swarm?
Yes, that once they see their target, fly into the forehead and fire off a shaped explosive.
Yep, that's the one.
Yep. Again, not
Holy
presently
thank
in
God
use.
they ain't real yet.
Oh, it's not real yet, but that is incredibly close to plausibility. We have face recognition. We have voice recognition. I'm pretty sure the form, when you're determining who the bot is going to take out, is a bit more complex than age, sex, and location. But it's probably going to be pretty messy.
Oh yeah, and considering black market sort of deal, who knows who's going to get their hands on them?
If they see enough production, there's really the sky's the limit. And that does bother me because while there are a lot of ideologues and activists who are not quite so bold as to take to the streets and just attack people randomly, if they could send an autonomous drone to just go kill the people who say things they don't like, think they'd refrain from pressing the button?
Oh, and people will be getting really big threat at that point.
Wait. Hold on.
Hello!
Hello! Dylan, I presume?
Hold on! I figured it out!
Whoa, we got to turn you down.
Oh, sorry. I may just be a little loud. I apologize.
I'll check the audio levels.
Plus, I just made the account, so if I have to do something, please tell me.
All right, I got you sorted. But
Okay, this seems in tolerance now. Welcome, Dylan Rosh, presumably.
That would be correct.
Aratos.
Hi.
Oh, and you decided to join us after all? Look, I was being a bit
Well,
facetious.
you know.
I understand if you have editing to do.
Yes. I have to edit up the interview with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh, God. That sounds like it would be very interesting. And I imagine that person may have a goat head or some type of weird type of head.
Well, I mean, she does have a weird face, that's for sure. The teeth in the eyes.
Especially with the way you talk about it. I imagine that there will be a Photoshop of someone else's head there.
Well, no, just she's just making weird faces, of course. Just being herself.
That's how you
Of
do
course,
it,
of course.
I see absolutely no reason to criticize her face and her policy position.
Yeah, her policies.
That is not a lie.
Yes,
Speaking of which,
the Green New
I
Deal
was
is
actually
fascinating.
thinking,
On one
speaking of
hand,
game stream, since we're here.
on one hand, regarding the Green New Deal,
Oh my God, Vince, your game stream, I wanted to just shoot myself with that. Watching you guys play League.
I mean, we were going to be awful one way or the other. I mean, we'd never
You
played.
did next time around.
you know,
The
your
second game
timing
was
for that,
much-
Vincent, was actually pretty good. Close to my usual active times. I'd be happy to take part. I don't Legends, though. I don't have it installed. And I have no experience with it. And I'm, well, presently humiliating myself quite enough with these games that I hypothetically know.
Well, I had a new game idea. I thought that we could perhaps all get together and be colonial oppressors in the new MMO New World that's coming out.
Hell
Have
yeah.
you seen the articles about that?
Yes, and it makes me want to play even more. It makes me want to be a colonial oppressor.
It makes me sad. It makes my brain hurt just so very much.
No,
This is the first I've heard of it, but already I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's Amazon Game Studios. They're putting out a thing called New World, where basically you sail from Europe over to someplace in the Caribbean and oppress the natives.
Even though they're zombies.
Well, I mean, are they zombies in New World? I don't think
Yeah,
they're
the
zombies.
entire premise behind it is that it was supposed to be some magical land, and then they became corrupted previous settlers became corrupted by something, and they became zombies. But
And they're trying to
saying
phrase
how-
that as you bad person
They're-
oppressing the natives.
because what I'm hearing so far is that they're equating the plague that white people brought over when they colonized North America as the corruption that turned the natives into zombies in the game.
Well, I think
And they're like,
I think it'd be
"Oh."
wonderful to. I think it'd be wonderful to build a society that just shows how damn good we are anyway, and oppress the zombies anyway.
Well, if
That
there's
is
zombies,
true.
I would say oppression is right out. Right out. Extermination is on the menu.
Oh yes.
Yeah, they're gonna stop saying oppressing zombies is like oppressing whoever. Whomsoever.
Sounds interesting, but I'm a bit concerned that it's an Amazon-made game?
Amazon-made game. It's a.
Amazon, the shipping company.
I will say that it looks rather good. The visuals are very nice.
I've heard that they're trying to set out a beta soon, or they may have already.
They're in open alpha, I think, or not open alpha, closed alpha.
Yeah.
What's the game title again? One more time.
New World.
New World.
Yeah.
I keep in mind.
That is the name of it. This New World.
Yes. New World.
Talk you're
looking
cornered.
for it.
Good, good. I have no idea if he's listening even.
Anyway,
So,
Vince, how
Arketer,
you
you were gonna say something about the Green Deal, I believe.
Yes, quite frankly, on one hand, I do like the fact that it's sparking conversation regarding future policy. Certainly it pays to look to the future and plan for it, but making the cows not fart and abolishing air travel is not a very sound policy. They're just going to make these things irrelevant, but don't bother to say how. And quite frankly, unless there, I'm with people who say that if there's no clear plan to really just go hog wild with nuclear power, then it's just a waste of paper. Digital space.
Going hog wild with nuclear power would be wonderful.
I think like 90% of it is just pretty much it cancels each other out. One good idea just cancels out, or one bad idea just cancels out like 3 or 4 of the actual good ideas in it.
Yes.
We have to invest in technology that hasn't been invented yet, there, Arketer.
It's not a Green New Deal, it's a Happy Thoughts manifesto. Things they would like to happen in 10 years that they have no real idea how to do it.
I'm very hard of hearing, but I totally did not catch what Dylan said.
Oh, you have the mic, Dylan.
I just said that I agree with Arketer, like 100%. Like I agree with that 100. Like
No, okay, I'm
Like,
sorry.
they're talking about technology that we don't have yet.
We have technology that could hypothetically fill those roles, but it's nothing that's going to be rolled out on a scale necessary in 10 years.
It's not efficient enough at present compared to petroleum products. So.
They
Like right now, I believe solar panels have the ability to absorb 90% of the energy they take in, but just like been said on the stream yesterday, Saturday, I believe, they become inefficient whenever clouds go over. Like even a small section of a solar panel covered by cloud cover makes the entire panel inefficient.
Yes, that
I'm
is
sorry.
completely.
and
Go ahead, Stu.
I understand.
You killed me.
Yeah, I saw the zombies fall upon you like you were a pot roast.
Sorry about that, Saki. I tried.
It's delicious.
Talk about eating out.
Yeah, but sorry about that. Something heavy decided to try to fall on my head. So
Ah,
Oh,
I'm glad you survived. But
Well,
I
I
must
hope you
finish
had a
the thought
great,
regarding Green
great
New Deal,
time
otherwise I'm
playing,
going to lose it and hate myself later.
I'm glad that I got to talk to you, Vince.
The
Oh,
Green
no,
New
glad to
Deal
talk to you too, dude.
wants to do away with air travel.
That is just retarded.
Makes
The
me
people
think of
who
Bullet
support
Train
the Green New Deal,
video.
they don't believe that for a second, but they're all for the peasants no longer cluttering up their flights.
Yes.
Oh, it's so bad.
All right, everybody. I am going to bow out and let you guys enjoy your stream. I have to continue editing, but it was lovely talking to you, Arketer, Steam, Knives, Dylan.
Likewise, Vincent, thanks for dropping by.
Later, buddy.
Anytime, guys.
Bye-bye.
If they come up with a technology that properly eliminates the need for air travel, though, then that's something else entirely. I think we'd all forgive much if the Green New Deal somehow resulted in teleportation. I don't see it happening, though, because railways, that's not going to cut it. Not even close.
And it's mainly because of air pressure. Like, whenever I get a train to go as fast as a plane, because of the difference in air pressure that the two of them travel on.
I think I understand their reasoning. I think what they've seen is okay. I think I understand their reasoning, but it's retired reasoning. Okay, so they see Japan, South Korea, England using bullet trains. The bullet trains are very successful and very useful. They're a lot more better than planes. But here's the thing. No one interrupt me. But here's the thing.
Sorry.
Thing is that these bullet trains, yes, they're very successful and they're a lot cheaper and all this stuff, but they're all in small, compact countries. Not in a huge country like America where there's like shit ton of land and everything. These bullet trains are in small, compact countries where every single corner is compact in something. Got massive, wide open space. I mean, I know people who live in a house and it takes them like 2 hours just to get to the nearest store. And they're thinking it's like, it's like those small countries when it's like, no, the difference is America is fucking huge. A bullet train's not going to cut it. It's actually cheaper for America to use planes because America's so fucking huge. They're getting their fucking logic from.
Yes.
Take the right side out of my mouth.
There's too much territory in just the continental United States for a high-speed train to solve it.
Pretty much, and they're thinking it's like Japan and UK and all these other countries, and it's like, oh yeah, but you're missing the point of like they're small, compact countries. It's like the train's gonna work for us because we're a tiny country. We don't really need planes all that much. Tiny country, I don't really need planes all that much. Sorry.
Nope. Legit. I know a lot of people who are scared of nuclear power, but quite frankly, the technology has not been revisited in a long time, and I thought thorium salt reactors were a great idea.
Right now, my dad works for Entergy and is working to make better plants for Entergy, more efficient and safer plants.
Yes.
And like nuclear power is like probably one of the best sources of energy as of right now, and the cleanest.
If we can eliminate fossil fuels, that's the way to go.
That's better than nuclear energy, but I can't remember what the name is, but it's better and safer. I can't remember what the name is, but like
You know how it's made?
It begins with a P. It begins with a P, but like it works better than. It works better. Damn it! It works better. It's a lot safer and it's a lot less damaging towards the environment. So.
You know how?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds nice. I'm skeptical. Give me a few details.
Well, I would love to see. I would love to look it up. If you could, like, even tell me how it's made, I could probably look it up on Google just by the way it's made.
Hang on, let me. I know what it is. It's just I can't remember the fucking name. Give me a minute.
Your timer starts now.
If only we could share the power generated by Orwell's spinning corpse.
I know that would save us all.
Oh yes, every day it gains an RPM.
Okay, let's see.
There are an alarming amount of people on Twitter who are unironically sad that people aren't obligated to take the news seriously.
Or even give news properly.
Well, that's why they're not being taken seriously anymore. They've completely squandered credibility like they were on fire and trying to put themselves out.
With fire.
Pissing it away.
Or with fire. Or trying to put the fire out with more fire.
It was
Credibility. Credibility is being pissed away.
Is it thorium? They mix thorium with.
That's basically nuclear.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's safer than pure nuclear. Like it's
well,
safer and.
what you're discussing basically at that point, it's still nuclear power. It's just a better way of generating it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is it's better than just straight up.
It's
Damn,
it's still nuclear power, Steam.
Damn it.
We're actually quite agreed, I think. A lot of promise in those thorium salt reactors. If they're alone salt, we can always mine Twitter.
That is true.
But yes, that is a great reactor, especially by virtue of the fact that if something goes wrong, then it shuts down.
Yes.
It's really hard to make one of those group critical.
Go boom.
Indeed, and that's the thing that everyone was scared with nuclear power.
Yes. Especially with like Chernobyl and everything.
Yes, and it's a good thing that it would be very hardy to make it melt down, because if anyone can find a way, it'd probably be the Russians.
Yeah, blame the Russians for everything.
Well, who else do you blame Chernobyl on?
Well, I wasn't being sarcastic with that.
Yes.
Wait, why are we blaming a gerbil?
Wait, what?
I feel a bit victimized at the moment.
Wait, what?
What did the gerbil do? Please tell me.
How did
I thought
gerbils
we
get
were
into
talking
this?
about Russians. I thought we were talking about Russians.
Briefly, discussing Chernobyl.
Oh, Chernobyl. I thought you said gerbil.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
But yes, the thorium salt reactor steam was exactly what I was talking about previously. The sort of nuclear power that needs to be revisited and embraced.
Basically.
What did you say?
Arketer?
Yes?
Doubt, right?
Yeah, you kind of cut out when you were talking.
Oh, what did you last hear? Weird.
I tried to catch it, but you cut out before you finished. Probably for the last, like, 5 seconds.
That's truly bizarre. Well, not much really. We just said that thorium is the sort of nuclear technology that needs to be embraced for the future.
That is spot on.
We can Just sort of get over that whole nuclear fear thing that most Americans have driven bone deep.
I mean, can you blame them? I mean, like, you know, history has happened for a while.
Well, I understand it, but blame doesn't quite factor in that point. It does need to be dispensed with as a fear. Not very rational. Especially now with the advances of technology that gave us thorium reactors and so on.
Thorium, no, but the thorium is probably the best option. Like, it's the safest thing, and everyone, and not almost everyone doesn't even know it exists. It's
I
kind
don't
of
really know it exists, but Dad uses it. My dad works with it.
cool. And, like, the general populace doesn't really know much about it.
No, I remember it was a very popular topic around the 2016 elections with us.
Was it? I didn't hear much about it.
Oh. In my circles, I suppose. Thorium reactors. I remember reading about them back in 2016. When people still thought Bernie had a chance of clinching the nomination.
Ugh. I'm just glad Hillary didn't get it.
Yes. Like or hate Trump, we should all have common ground in being grateful that the super genius smart plan to prop up Trump to scare everyone to voting Hillary didn't actually work. Because if they're insufferable now, how much worse would they be then?
Oh, God.
As it is, everything is blown up in their stupid, stupid faces, and they're still pretending like it was all to plan.
Even though everyone sees past the veil.
You would think. The majority of Americans, I would say, do. Otherwise, it would be seemingly impossible for Trump to get a 51% approval rating at all. But there are a lot who don't. There's an entire other world on Twitter of people who only ever see what they want to see. People who believe that CNN is trustworthy. That the narrative is always correct. That the Covington kids were horrible monsters. That pulling out of Syria is a bad thing.
And apparently the indoctrination and the guilt tripping works more than we think, because I know someone who was actually an anti-SJW, like a real anti-SJW, and, used to hang around our circles quite a lot, and now she's turned into a straight up SJW communist. Hell, actually, even communists say that she's too extreme for communists.
Oh, God. Is that physically possible?
Yeah, the communist that I talked to literally said, like, oh yeah, no, she's fucking crazy.
Who?
Methane bubbles.
Sorry, but when says that you're too crazy for us, you didn't go off the deep end. You farted off the deep end and went straight to space.
Pretty much, yes.
Do happen.
Apparently, we make fun of mentality and we go like, haha, how are these people so stupid? But it's like, I've known someone who was actually pretty normal.
No, it makes sense. It all depends on what groups you hang out with. Especially if you are employing block bots and lists. where you're surrounding yourself only with people like this, then at some point you're probably going to have to get pretty damn extreme yourself just to stay, well, above water. Because in these methane bubbles, what do they do besides cannibalize each other?
Well, that's why I don't actually think these people are stupid. I think that they're indoctrinated, which is a very different thing. And people will try and conflate the two, and it's like, no. Their indoctrination is something that you've been forced to taught. Like if you don't go with us, then you're against us, sort of thing. And you have to teach yourself over and over again. You have to like do mental gymnastics and all this stuff. Being stupid is just you being stupid. Like you not knowing stuff. You refusing to
acknowledging the world around you.
Refusing to actually learn anything new. And here's the thing with SJWs: they do actually try to learn new things that suits them, which is very different from being stupid. Because being stupid is just you just don't want to learn things. You don't want to fucking do anything because you're a lazy cunt. You don't want to learn things. You never want to learn things. And if you want to learn, and if you try to learn things, you most likely be like, oh well. They just throw a hissy fit and go. But here's the thing with SJWs, they actually do learn things. It's just not the things we're learning. They're learning different things.
Well, they're being told what to learn, being told what to think. And you can see the results of that. Have you ever seen the bad conservative art Twitter?
Called denial of
Well, hang on, there's two people talking, what?
Right, sorry. I'll go first because I can. Have any of you seen the bad conservative art Twitter account?
No, I have not.
I have not.
Okay, it's very funny because it's called the bad and awful, terrible, no good conservative art. I paraphrase, of course. And they keep on showing these comics that they feel are conservative, only half the time ever from a conservative author. They crop out the artist marks and then try to present them as being just so horrible and bad. But they have no independent ability to determine whether the thing is bad or not. So again, half the time, they're actually pretty good. Apparently, they sincerely feel that because they label it bad, everyone's going to assume it's bad. And with some percentage of the population, they're tragically right.
Like, I understand that like a certain level of stupid people are going to go into the indoctrination, but the indoctrination itself is still very different. Straight up stupidity.
And
indoctrination and stupidity
wait, hold on.
go
I
hand
think
in hand. It's true, but you know they are different.
right. And Dylan, you have the mic, or well, whoever was also trying to speak.
They are failing at being a good opponent for the right side, or even to put it more clearly, the right side of them. Like I got called a right-wing Nazi. What was it, Wednesday? And I sit directly in the middle. I am the most independent person you'll ever meet. And they were like, "You're a Nazi." I was like, "No, I'm just not a Jew." And they're like, "What?" I was like, "I'm not like my father. How about that?"
That's okay. People call me a Nazi. My grandfather was a Holocaust survivor.
My stepdad is a Jewish man, and he is like the most awesome person you'll ever meet. And he is very strongly a Republican, but he is also very much a penny pincher. Like he's the stereotypical Jew, but he's still the most awesome person you'll ever meet.
Yes, truly, these Nazis these days are very inclusive. Anyone can be one. Jewish, black, Asian. Anyone can be a Nazi at any time.
And to be honest, would they be not Jews? I apologize. Would they be Nazis since Nazis were technically democratic people?
Very interesting question.
Wasn't Nazis socialists?
Yeah. So I would have to say, shouldn't you be labeling them something that's more fitting?
No,
Like,
because they
something
need
that's
the
actually-
dramatic emotional oomph that they've tripled, doubled, quadrupled, some further oopled after that to just stress how everyone they disagree with is in fact a horrible monster, and they are in fact only good for opposing them, whether they are or not.
I love how all of these groups were a part of the Democratic Party. Like they came from the Democratic Party.
A lot of them gone too since, and it's not really working too well for the DNC either. They don't want Ocasio-Cortez in office. She's got supporters, but I guarantee you the old guard really want her out. Oh, that reminds me of today's absurd fiasco. There are people who unironically believe that Senator Warren did nothing wrong and is viable for the presidency.
Oh, miss. I thought I was Native American.
That's this one. Thought I was Native American, never questioned it, believed it totally, and put it on my documents. To no personal gain, of course. Just, put it on the bar and sorted other things. Because she couldn't have known until the DNA test that she initially tried to claim vindicated her. That some of her supporters still insist vindicated her. 1024th, was it?
But it's not even Native American blood that they were testing again. What? It was like, what was it? Now I'm having a brain fart. I think it was...
Oh, that broke up terribly, I'm
Yeah, what
afraid.
happened there?
Yeah.
Oh, I may be too far away from my phone. I apologize. I'm using Bluetooth headphones. I believe she she didn't even test the blood against Native American blood.
Well, whatever they were testing for, only 1004th hit the agenda.
I need to look at the
Still has Native American blood in her. Just won 1024th.
Welcome the Killing Joke to chat, by the way. Nice you did turn up. You've definitely tuned in for some hot rock chipping action. As we discuss Senator Warren's chances for the presidency.
chances. That's more like a.
She's got a solid 1024th chance of having it.
I would put a few more zeros in front of that.
Probably, yes. After all, there's very little chance that the nomination has already been decided. I mean, any pretense that the DNC chose their nomination, coordinated their candidate by democratic processes died the last election, and again, they show no signs of having learned a damn thing. Kamala Harris is my prediction to be their shoo-in, unless, of course, the Queen decides to run one more time.
And give the win to Donald.
I don't think they have a chance in hell with either Kamala Harris or Hillary, but however they want to lose it, I suppose, is their business. If I were in the DNC, I wouldn't be in a huge rush to run on this election. I would have my eye on the next. Because that's a way you can run without joining the elite club of people who have managed to lose to Donald Trump.
He has a lot of wins under his belt.
Oh yes, and he'll have another one on again, I think. Certainly, if they do as I think they're going to do and coordinate either Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton again, my vote will be very easy to decide upon.
Mine too. I will not support a Democrat that is like oh, I believe in gay rights, even though not even a year before that she was on TV saying, no, I don't believe in marriage equality for homosexuals.
Didn't Hillary
And I was
funded
like, what?
did like gay conversion therapy at one point? No,
Yes, she
Korea.
did. Yes, she did.
Yeah, I'm begging on rocks and Warren for Prez. No, we're not actually promoting Warren for Prez. If you ever see me twittering Warren 2020, I guarantee you it's a taunt.
It's a fake account.
Oh no, I'm probably doing it just to poke at someone who sincerely thinks that's a chance.
Well, I talked a little too soon then. But no.
I prefer bringing back smallpox.
Oh, probably not even just that. Anti-vaxxers. Thanks.
Hey, thanks. We eradicated a disease and then you brought back the fucking disease.
Really, if they... I know a lot of people like to say, well, then just let them do it. The problem is that they're going to mutate the disease, get us all infected as well. Although it's not.
Yeah.
Discreetly.
It's gonna be rough.
I mean, if we could stick them all on the island, then...
Doesn't have autism.
Don't equate them with autistic kids.
You need to prevent that tism.
Autistic kids.
Jesus Christ. Seriously, if they think autism's worse than smallpox, then they truly are retarded.
Well, at least someone with autism can like live a normal life. The other thing just kills you. So one is definitely better than the other.
Live with autism or die of measles. Choose one.
I'm actually really glad that it's mandatory to vaccinate your children in England, because my father was actually an anti-vaxxer.
It's also mandatory in the US, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I think that was the one thing that is not legal to not have a vaccination for. Or am I talking out my ass here?
See, I think a mandatory vaccinations for children is the only thing I would want the government to enforce. Mostly because it's just like an extinct disease.
Only because someone was stupid enough to not destroy the last sample of it.
Yeah. Oh god.
I don't think very many diseases are as thoroughly eradicated.
This is like I'm like an anti-vaxxer. Like, okay, actually no, my dad, he's an anti-vaxxer, right? But he got vaccinated when he was a child. So, like, I remember he was going like, I never, I didn't die, and vaccination is bullshit. It's like, yeah, because you got vaccinated. That's what these anti-vaxxers are. They've been vaccinated themselves, but then they deny that they have been vaccinated. But then they don't vaccinate their children. They wonder why their children's fucking dying. I wonder why. It's like.
Let's see. I've had the hep vaccination. I've had chickenpox vaccination. I've had pretty much everything, and I'm glad I did, because guess what? I'm not dead.
Well, my brother, he didn't get like vaccinated in life because he wasn't born in England, so like he was older than me, so he didn't get the vaccinations he needed when he was a baby, which caused a lot of problems later in life. And then my dad just like blamed it on the government, on the English government, and it's like, no, because you didn't vaccinate him when he was a baby, you dumbass. It's like anti-vaxxers, they just go like, oh oh, well, I was never affected. And it's like, yeah, because you were probably vaccinated.
It makes me want to say a line from League of Legends. People in the air.
I don't know. No, I've met a few anti-vaxxers, and it's all basically the same. They all have the same argument. Of, well, I never died from vaccines and shit. And it's like, yeah, because you were vaccinated, dumbass. Talked to a woman on Discord once who said like, oh, her baby died, sort of thing. I was like, oh, I'm sorry about that. But then you find out how the baby died, and it's like,
Yeah, but how old is the
it
baby?
lived if you just vaccinated it.
Yeah, but can you vaccinate? Can you give a baby a flu shot now? The flu vaccine, right? You can give a baby flu vaccine, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's supposed to be a certain age though before a baby can get the flu vaccine.
I think it's more like they have to type of vaccine of your age. I think they still have to like give you vaccine when you're a baby, just not a massive dosage, because you wouldn't feel in later life. This is I'm not entirely sure on that, but.
Well, I hope no one in any
I know
case is listening to the stream and looking to it for medical advice. No one on the stream presently, I don't believe, is a medical professional. I'm certainly not. So take anything you hear here on this point with a grain of salt.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. I do know that they have like a vaccine for babies to protect them from that, but it's not exactly an anti-vaccine vaccine.
It may be a different dose.
Maybe.
So it may be a smaller dose for a child.
And you're not late, Roger Wilco. I don't think I have any room to criticize you for being unprofessional either.
To be fair, I might have to look into it, but yeah, no, like I remember this woman talking on Discord, and it was like my hair was just going like, so the baby could have survived, you just vaccinate it. Brilliant.
That is stupid. I think the only reason you shouldn't get vaccinated is if you have a medical issue that makes it difficult for your body to handle vaccinations.
But if they think that being mentally spectrum is worse than dying, and it's like you people. I don't. Another excuse I hear is well, we didn't have all these diseases and medical things when I was a child. And it's like, yes, because you know the mortality rate was a lot higher back then.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the mortality rate for our generation is like what? Dropped by like 5 or 6%.
Yeah. It's like I remember this person was going like, oh, all these diseases. Back when I was a child, I never met someone who had asthma. Yeah, because he probably died when he was 5. It's just like these stupid arguments. It's like, yeah, you know, back in the 1960s, it was very common for an English household to hide away their disabled child. It was considered
that is very true because it was considered unnatural.
But it would be considered unsightly.
Unsightly.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
The need to maintain face.
Yeah,
Yes.
like there was a massive thing. Like I don't know about America, but like in England, there was this massive thing of like if people were like physically disabled, for instance, was like completely paralyzed. Even Hawking had it or something. Yeah, no, you would never be taken outside. You would be housebound.
You know, I can't
Pretty
speak for
much.
all areas of America, but I'd say it's a pretty horrifying concept. What I knew.
Yeah, there was a lot of examples of that. It was actually really horrifying to find out. Like there's been cases of people going their entire lives never actually having a real life. To like
Oh god, I'd shoot myself.
I never met someone with space AIDS, is something I might say in the future to someone, so saith Roger Wilco 98. I hope so, Roger Wilco, because if there's space AIDS, I might hope that means we're off this damn rock.
Yeah, but what would space AIDS be? Like, because the thing about AIDS is that it's an effect from another virus. So what would be the space part?
I don't know, but I hope it comes from space directly. And that we're out in it.
I don't think. No, actually, I'd be wrong with that because there are bacteria on our planet that can live out in space, but not for very long. I don't believe.
Oh, we're still discovering the sheer extent of the way things can mutate once they're off the planet. They've done some really weird things with plant growth and so on.
yeah.
There's like these little teddy bear things, that microscopic teddy bear
Tardigrades.
things. Yeah, that can survive in space for a certain amount of time. I think that's how it is. Only a certain amount of time.
But yeah, no, if anyone says that,
Go ahead.
I know, I was just saying, if anyone says, well, this thing didn't happen when I was a child, just tell them they're an idiot. Good, you're an idiot.
I'm constantly telling my friends, so are we them? No, we're not them. So this may have happened back then, but this is now.
Yeah, it's basically that sort of thing.
No, that's them.
It's the excuse of, well, computers didn't exist when I was a child, so therefore computers don't exist now. End of it. Sorry, Frano.
If someone actually tried to use that argument on me, I'd be like, you are a fucking dimwit.
People arguing online didn't happen when Roger Wilco 98 was a kid. Strictly speaking, that didn't happen when I was a kid either. Kind of a new thing as I was growing up. It's funny to think how much we live, how the different world we live in compared to our parents even. And how baffling it's probably going to be for us when our kids grow up. The next generation reaches our age and they'll probably have to explain us how to use the holo telly and...
Yeah, holotelly is making our children violent.
Alternatively, sexist.
Holotelly are making our children violent.
Would be great.
Just like people are like, video games make children violent. The little 3D picture on the top of the robot is making my child violent.
Well, it's coming back. And they've already had articles talking about how D&D turns people into racists.
Good, how are you? Dylan Rush? Think about
Sorry, broke up a bit, I think.
I was talking to my mail lady.
Oh. Well, that explains confusion.
I had my door open because it's a beautiful day in New Orleans.
I bet it is.
And I don't want to waste electricity on running the air conditioning when it's cool outside.
It's fair enough.
You and me both, probably, Roger Wilco 98. If they do invent a holodeck, I'm never going out again. I would think there's probably a huge dovetailing between holodecks and telepresence. If all your environment is a hologram, why can't you be a hologram in an actual environment?
Why does it seem like Arketer is the only one that constantly cuts it out?
It could be
Has
because you're cutting out and therefore you think that I'm cutting out. And it was you the entire...
Yeah, but it's only you that's doing it. Explain that. Mr. Smarty, Matt.
Your phone
Matt
can't
Sanchez.
handle my awesomeness.
Ah, there you go. I can believe that.
Like keeps cutting out because it's a good mic and Discord isn't used to good mics.
I'm wrecking the curve.
Yeah, you're pushing the boundaries.
He's a boundary pusher.
You know, I do wonder... It would seem that the Republican Party is going to have to answer the Green New Deal, even as insane as most of it is. Some people are seriously taking it as some sort of plan for the future, so they need to offer something competitive.
So can you say what that is one more time? Because you cut in and out just as you were saying what it was actually supposed to be.
I think the Republican side of affairs is going to need to offer something contrary to the Green Deal.
Yeah. Well, I don't honestly think that's actually going to be a thing they need, but it would be a smart idea because the Green Deal is just so stupid. I don't think they need an argument for it. I just think it would be a smart idea.
Well, it seems like a huge opportunity as well. All Trump has to do is basically redefine all of his goals in the same language and go for it.
Agreed.
Not that it'll change much overall. I still want to leave. Orange, mad, overwhelmingly bad. Not much different from usual. And Roger Wilco, well, they also think it looks more and more like Trump's a shoo-in. Again, I agree. It didn't have to be that way. They could have learned something. They've got one candidate I think would pose a viable threat. And that person, they're going to bury. They're already in the process of it. And it sure as hell isn't Warren. They could have, but they're not going to. And I still wonder when they inevitably abuse superdelegates again, how they're going to hand wave it away.
That's a good question.
That's exactly it, Izub. Learning something would require them to admit they were wrong to begin with, but they weren't wrong. Everyone else was.
I'm not wrong. You are.
It was all those bigots, that basket of deplorables. They all voted wrong. How dare they?
How dare they vote wrong?
Dare they vote wrong?
Yeah, I want to.
Didn't they understand what the plan was?
I would like to, get some more votes by calling half the population deplorable.
Yeah,
That's a great strategy.
I
Like
think the
music,
only reason
great
they thought
idea.
they were win because it was the first woman president.
Is Hillary really a woman? I think she's a lizard.
I'll be happy with the first woman president, so long as it isn't Kamala Harris, Warren, or Hillary.
Both. Do you see how withered Warren looks? I think Hillary's disguise is starting to backfire on her. I think her human skin is starting to reject her.
What's that other lady, politician lady who's been in the news lately? She looks like Skeletor.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
No, she hasn't been in the news lately, has she?
That's true. But you did say it looked like Skeletor.
Nancy Pelosi, that's the one.
Ah, Pelosi.
Yeah, she is just horrible.
But they're a speaker, and that makes them almost as powerful as the president, you know. They're practically the president.
Weirdly, someone did that very well. Was that you, director?
I think that was director.
What? Exasperated
The
sighs? I don't think
impression?
those were mine this time.
Well, if it wasn't Dylan, and it wasn't me, surely isn't Miss Stream. It must have been you who did the impression.
An impression? Was that an impression of Pelosi? I really have no idea. I haven't listened to much of Pelosi. But that was definitely her line, as it happens. Roger Wilco 98 is not sure if Ginsburg is technically still alive. I don't think there's a chance in hell she's alive. I'm sorry, they don't run an article talking about, hey, these random people we can't identify totally saw Ruth Bader Ginsburg at a concert. Yes, she hasn't shown up for work, but she's totally in fine health, according to some people who totally saw them, not in person, at a distance, through a window, but it totally counts. They're not going to admit she's dead until her unfortunate desiccated corpse is drug out of the suitcase they've buried it in.
I think she's popped up to like life support that makes her move, and just like
Yes.
how like
That'll be a twist. They find out that she's actually in a limo where she's been hollowed out and replaced with a set of animatronic limbs.
This reminds me of a episode of Family Guy, one of the newest episodes. I think. Some guy, I think it was Family Guy, or could have been American Dad. I don't know. There's some guy fell into a box making machine and ended up having to survive inside the box because it was holding all his organs together.
How durable could this box have been?
I don't know.
I know, right? This must have been like a liquid-proof box too.
I was just picturing Ruth Bader Ginsburg is jumping out of a box when you open up the suitcase. Boing! Jacking the box.
And Roger Wilco realizes this might be a great lead into a remake of Weekend at Bernie's. Weekend at Ginsburg's.
You know what'd be really funny if she broke out of that box waving, "I'm still alive, I'm still alive, I'm still alive," and her eyes are closed.
That's part of the animatronic set, perhaps. You know, when she waves out the window, "I'm still alive, I'm still alive, can't replace me, I'm still alive, I'm at the concert. It was lovely."
And to make sure no one votes her out of her seat. Orange man bad, I'm still alive.
I'm still alive, if not.
I wonder, let's say hypothetically, we can't be certain, maybe she's just fine after all, and these incredibly awkward articles talking about how she totally was seen somewhere alive, while also refusing to turn up for anything approaching work. Let's assume that, okay, she's officially croaked. How long can they really keep this going? Are they going to just have her staying at home until the next 5 years are up?
If they
Mr.
involve her,
Director,
they can
I
do
would
the
like
last.
to, Mr. Director, I'd like to ask, how long do people think that Elvis is still alive? That may answer your question.
Yes, but Elvis isn't trying to maintain a bench on the Supreme Court. Someone's going to
there's a
ask
whole
questions they
different
can't
story
answer
now.
sooner or later.
They could have someone dress up as her.
Well, you got me there, Director. You're a smart fella.
Did I miss what Director said?
I just wonder how they're going to explain it, because if she's croaked, they're going to have to explain
Okay.
why they've kept it quiet for so long. They're not going to be able to hide the forensic evidence. And even if they stuffed her in a freezer, they're probably going to tell something's a bit squiffy.
Yeah, but they'll probably just go, she died of natural causes, and just stick her in a box and bury her.
Immediate cremation.
Yeah. There's no evidence when you burn it.
Apparently with Elvis as a judge, we'd all be screwed, because it would depend entirely upon what drugs he'd taken that day. Although, this just makes him a wild card. Maybe it would make things more interesting.
It certainly would, actually.
Saki appears to have appeared with time. We'll turn this off, and I don't know what Furman has done in Minecraft.
Oh no, not Minecraft.
Oh, it'll be brief. But there's an office there, presumably stocked with vodka. Oh, that's
Wait,
recursive.
Booze? I'm in. There's booze, right?
In Minecraft?
Oh. Dang.
I like
If I could risk
I
running
like
the
when Arthur's
VR again.
drunk. He's hilarious.
Oh god, I'd love to see that done.
Oh, I've seen it. It's great.
Siemens hypothetically seen it. Okay, be sure.
You
I'm way
type
too serious
more,
when I'm drunk.
more affectionate when you're drunk.
Wait, what? There it
You
is again.
type a lot.
I'd have to make
You
conscious.
type a lot more, and you're a lot more affectionate when you're drunk.
That doesn't sound like me.
What? No, it's okay. Let's not put it affectionate. Let's put it quite a bit.
Okay, let's put it simply. The director cannot be held responsible for drunk director.
Look, again, my drinking is entirely in control. It's roughly bi-weekly at this point. Or, twice a month.
Yeah, it is controlled. I'm just saying I have seen you drunk before.
I have no memory loss, so I'm pretty sure I would have known if I was just slobbering on
Oh, I
someone.
know you have no memory loss. I'm just saying you're a lot more looser and friendlier with people.
Okay, loose and friendly have decidedly different connotations than affection.
Okay, yes, I used the wrong words, okay?
There we go.
I'm way too serious when I'm drunk.
Yeah,
Like, I get
used
drunk
them.
and I'm hyper suspicious. I'm like, are you trying to attack me while I'm drunk?
So you're an angry drunk.
I am not an angry drunk. I'm actually a very happy drunk. I'm just a very suspicious drunk.
I'm a weird drunk.
I
just
am
weird all
indeed a
around.
happy drunk.
You're a very happy drunk. I'm a weird drunk. Apparently, according to people's testimonies, I am depressing, but yet I talk about wanting to give blowjobs to people.
That's a pretty weird.
That sounds like me in a nutshell.
It's an odd combination, but that's what people have told me I do, and I was like, okay, that's
Maybe
Odd.
not.
weird. Yeah, weird.
Unusual. Unusual. Yeah, that song is stuck in my head.
Yeah, and apparently a few people want me to like get drunk and go on a live stream, and I'm like, haha, no.
You know, it's been a long
That
time
would
since I
be
danced
amazing.
anything. Could probably soon happen, maybe. Also, apparently I said Minecraft, so Angry Froman has been about the Aether. Till now I'm obligated to go ahead and get into it.
Yeah, no, I'm never getting drunk and going on a live stream. That is.
You know, it'd be really funny to see Dyer and Arketer drunk on a live stream. Could you imagine that?
Has Dyer ever been drunk on a stream before?
I don't think so. But at the same time, I haven't been watching him since he started. So
I think he used to when he used to stream with a whole bunch of other people. Like the you remember when everyone was kind of like hanging around together, Chevy, Flipperpod, Megon, Armor, Sis, you know.
I think the first time I watched Dyer's live stream was the stream where I had actually come on to talk to him about the whole misgendering what the trans woman that moved to Australia, the one that Sinatra Chaz loves picking on. Smiley Dennis. And I think that was the first live stream that I'd ever seen on Dire Media. I can't remember. It was the night that I think Bonitis, yeah, Bonitis was doing a picture of Dyer.
You know, I probably should have launched the Sculptor VR program instead, because I've been meaning to do some other 3D avatars for my co-workers.
I want to make myself a avatar. I'm just waiting to save up enough money to make a 3D animation.
You can make a 3D animation on Blender. Blender is free.
Yeah, but I need a computer first.
Oh,
I use Blender, but
yes, you need a good computer.
yeah, you need a really good computer to do 3D animation. My last computer, like the motherboard pooped out just by opening Blender.
Oh. And I asked by Roger Wilco if I'm going to make more content for the main channel more often. Yes. I just need to get over this sort of bump. The How to Destroy Enemies Third Applause Part 3. I've gathered so much material on it that it's daunting. And Poisoning Well is cranking out more videos. I know. Poisoning Well is also a bit more professional than I am. Half of them, anyway.
Well, you are a director, so you should be directing Dio Media to pump out more material.
Yes. I'm not sure they're that keen to take orders from me. I'm really not inclined to test that theory. Mind you, I wouldn't be opposed to a collaboration on this. That's actually a pretty good idea. I should try to find some way to make it do it perhaps.
I'll be getting on in just a moment. Still loading up, but
Oh, sure.
I've done quite a few things on the Minecraft server. Not just in your office. You joined at the creative one.
I did. And shots fired, yes. I quite like Pat poisoning the well. I get the impression I've burned a few bridges when it comes to Sophane because I wouldn't agree that the Nazis weren't socialists.
But okay, actually, he didn't burn any bridges. Sophane burned his own bridges. Okay, he fucking like.
I don't really have any regrets on this point, but
Yeah. Like, here's the thing, Pat's been professional and been very, Sophane's the one who's going around and like, wow, poor me. It's like,
Sophane
dude,
does argue with everyone on
shut
Twitter,
up.
but, well, I think he occasionally holds a bit of a...
Go down to the bottom floor. The very bottom floor.
He's holding a grudge. That sounds
Well,
I would hope Sophane isn't terribly serious on Twitter, but he certainly does sound like it. Classical lines and such. And, oh, yes, this desk is looking fantastic, Roman.
On the table is a glass of vodka if you right click it. Or punch it, I can't remember. You just got chair right on the...
Yeah, well, you're like really Arketer. You are the nicest guy I've ever met, and the fact is that like Sophane's just treating you like absolute shit.
Oh, no, that's a bit of an exaggeration. Sophane, for the most part, has ignored me since our point of disagreement. I just find it really funny that he was one of the people to the defense of treating the OK sign as a racist gesture.
You know, Sophane did the OK sign like a times.
Yeah, but the blame for this overreaction to what the OK sign is all the trolls' fault, really. Not the uncritical plebes who saw a few accounts going, "Oh, it's so racist, it means white power," and then uncritically buying it. That why is it the trolls' fault that people are just that stupid?
because they want to blame everyone other than themselves. Because they have no fault whatsoever. They are perfect. And everyone.
I got kicked out of Mr. Atheist's Discord server today because the moderators, his excuse was appreciate hatred. Okay, I was like, I didn't do any hatred. I barely speak in it. And they're like, we found your Twitter. And I was like,
one of those lot, huh? They tracked you down. Oh, we're gonna sort you all about.
Wait, team. Someone tracked down your Twitter and thinks that it is filled with hate?
they didn't track down my Twitter. I posted artwork there and they just basically clicked the link. But it was just basically like when it's like I post artwork on Twitter and then I put the artwork in like an art chat sort of thing.
Hmm.
On my Twitter.
Apparently
it's
Survey knows that's not true. Since you only ever see a relatively small portion of people's personality online, it can be very difficult to parse out what a person is actually like IRL. I'm not certain which part is the affectation, Roger. I'm not certain anyone should be, but that's fine. Again, he's quite seriously stumping for the left. Present context. Oh, that's their call. Yes, that's lovely from him. Fantastic.
yeah, no.
Certainly
I
more
literally got
streams
banned
need
from
gratuitous
a,
parting.
I literally got banned from a Statheus Discord server because one of the moderators just didn't like me.
Nah. Mad with an incredibly small amount of power. It happens all too often.
Oh yes, I know
This-
it all too well.
Yeah, but when you look at Mr. Atheist and the fact that he's actually open to JW, but if you actually look at him, he's actually open to having discussion with people from other political sides. And it's like, and this is why you shouldn't give admins to just random guy you happen to know. Because that's basically what Mr. Atheist did. He had this whole thing which was like, if you're a high enough patron, you're an admin in the server, and I was like, that is a terrible premise.
That is a terrible, terrible idea.
That is a really bad idea. No, but like the admin just banned me because of that, and it's like, well, like Mr. Atheist is very open to discussion. Like he won't just ban people because he didn't like them. That's not his thing. Yeah, no, it's just like
Yes,
it's
this
why
is,
you don't give admins.
I'll be very
admins.
careful with mods. As for Roger Wilco, we might get along great IRL, we might not, who knows. Very true. Odds are high. I'll probably get, well, in the situation that I somehow managed to have some sort of physical presence at one of these conventions or gatherings or what have you, feel free to come up and say hi. I'll probably be pretty easy to recognize. I'll look pretty much the same. And I'm sure to get along with just about everyone who doesn't try to brain me from behind.
Oh,
It's funny that like right after I pointed out that you just don't like me, that he just blocked me. I was like,
They've added a hook shot to this now. Okay, hold on. I need to get the graphics back on. This requires testing.
You need to be out of the seat, but yeah. It has a short range, but works pretty well. There's also a long shot, which I need to find a place to upgrade. Unfortunately, they work via... you can't craft them normally. You have to buy them and then upgrade them through NPC villagers.
Feels more like a classic grappling hook. But nevertheless, I approve. Nice. Preferable to flying, in my opinion.
If you want, come down to the bottom floor and you can see what I've been working on.
Yes, and this is very unlikely, Roger Wilco, mostly because I'm not... Well, I'm fairly reclusive. The odds of me being in the right place at the wrong time to arrange appearance are low. Not beyond possibility, but low. When I'm a bit more successful, maybe. When there's greater importance to it. Oh. I'm babbling at this point, but you get the idea. I think I'd probably be pretty cagey at a convention. I'd get along with everyone, but I'm not certain I would really want to talk. I'm fence pretty solid, but there are a few figures who I... Well, if you can't say something nice... Just checked that you're literally thousands of miles away from me. Yes, that could be the case. sports could say?
Go to a convention, I would probably be standing there very awkwardly, going like, "What do I do?"
I feel you there, Miss Steam. I have terrible anxiety in a crowd.
It's more of the fear of getting lost, so I just don't move.
So you stand in front of the front door?
Well, it is anxiety,
Go on.
but it's also...
Roman, what was that?
It describes me pretty well. Don't move so you don't get lost.
It is anxiety. It is also like I don't want to get lost. So
Cow that produces
but
chocolate.
I'd have to go with someone if I was going to a convention, because there's just...
I like what you're doing here, Roman.
Genetic modifications? Oh, I love it.
Chocolate cows, Ouroboros, what could possibly go wrong?
There's
a cow that makes chocolate milk.
I'm guessing
That
after
is awesome.
because we would both be fucking silent, and I'll just cling on to him like glue, because it's like, you're the only person I know.
Down this floor is our storage system.
Chocolate milk.
I've managed to make something that is actually decent. Type in 64 diamonds. Press enter.
Oh my.
Bounce it out over the top of the crystal. And if you want to throw it back into the system, just toss it into this mirror.
Wait, no, not that. I'm keeping that, thank you.
Oh, I got 5 in the system.
This mirror, you say?
Yep. And it eats it up, and we'll send it back through the system. A bit complex, but I enjoyed making it.
You've clearly been busy, Fruman. This is fantastic.
Oh, you haven't even seen the best bit.
Oh, really?
Hold shift on here to float down. It's not
the thonic elevator.
done. Hold shift. Yeah, that's just a cave I haven't closed off yet.
Blood altar's gotten a bit grander, I see.
Oh, more than that, there's more of them.
Oh, yes, it does produce chocolate milk, although you're trying to avoid refined sugar. I don't know if refined sugar applies when it's a cow that produces chocolate milk directly. It'd be pretty unrefined. But same boat, by the way. I have to avoid sugar myself.
So, yeah,
I think you can sugar from time to time. Do you just deprive your body from sugar?
Mutated cow that produces chocolate milk.
If you deprive your body from sugar, then it actually slows down your metabolism.
That is partially true. Your body can turn protein into sugar.
No,
Yeah,
like, you can't,
there's
like,
no avoiding the sugar entirely.
no,
Your
it's
body
like
turns into sugar.
no, it's like you can eat healthy and you can cut down sugar, but don't like completely cut it out, because that can actually mess with your metabolism quite a bit.
eat that and hold right click.
Just
I was tapping. Rapidly.
Eat the thing I just gave you. And just like as fast as possible.
Yeah, I've pretty much cut off like the entire like bread section of my food pyramid so that I can help myself with something. So I totally understand the sugar thing.
You can't eat the noodles. I accidentally gave them to you.
Okay. What did you give me again? Because I think I might have failed to pick it up.
It's not that big a deal. They're really cheap to make. It's not actually edible in the first place. So, put it this way. You have a divination ritual on you, don't you? If not, you
I
can
do
use
indeed.
mine. So see how much LP you have in your network.
77669.
So sounds like a little less than 1 million.
That sounds about right. 176,669.
Okay. Well, one thing I wanted to do is let me see if I can grab it.
I suppose that is a refined cow, actually, Roger. And grab what now?
I'm going to make another blood orb, and you can use this. Ooh, servers are starting soon. The tea ice cream I gave you, it has absurd healing properties.
Ice cream.
There you go. There you go. Take the blood orb out and right-click it.
See?
That's true.
No success in the quick yet thus far. Hold on.
Try that.
Right clicked.
And you should be able to hold 30 million life points now.
Oh, very nice then. Thank you.
I think your previous max was
Horrible.
your previous max I think was 1 million. And then just throw it in the altar to fill it up with blood. Do you not right click the altar? There you go. So that will fill up with blood
Well,
quickly.
is anyone dying presently?
I'm dying.
Okay, good. I just didn't know. It sounded like someone being torn apart by wild dogs for a moment there.
Oh! The dog got me.
Okay. Well, all's well. No one's dying horribly.
So this
And of course I had to jinx it.
yeah, a little bit. You can just come down the way you came and head back. If you stand by the flower, you get regen, so you don't have to worry about dying. You need to be like within 2 blocks of it.
Almost close.
See what else is new. I have created some lovely potions and bound armor. I figured you would like it because bound armor has the potentiality of becoming the most powerful armor in the game with 100% damage reduction.
That's pretty damn powerful.
And this is all in Minecraft?
Yeah, it's Minecraft.
The heavily modified Kenya craft server.
Goodness. What the hell was that? Oh, it scared me.
What? Seriously, what was that?
Sounded like a video game going off.
I thought it was like Steam sneezing, like an anime person.
Oh, something's telling me.
You seem to have an issue with things like the following you.
What? Coming through what?
I'm not just like that day. I'm not
Fine.
experiencing the problem.
The only issue I'm having is that Arketer keeps cutting in and out, and no one else seems to be having that issue.
This is because, technically speaking, you're the one.
I believe that like a foot in my mouth.
I have to concur with that part.
Yeah, understood, Roger Wilco.
I said
It's about
not
time
like
to
5
start
times.
wrapping this up anyway. Cheers, Roger. And yes, Roger Wilco is finding that you were the one cutting out from his perspective, which imply that again.
I think it's more of it's you, but it's because you're too awesome for my phone.
Possibly,
I mean,
but if your phone goes down, then it kind of goes down for everyone. Roman, that was excellent. We're definitely going to play with that a bit more, but I think it's time to have one more attempt at sculpting.
Okay, fair enough. I'll just figure out how to,
I would go
Rule
back to
the
it
world.
right now, but apparently we just managed to catch a server reset.
Well, yeah, it'll be back up in a minute, actually. Either way.
Yes?
Hmm?
Oh, I said by the way.
No, either way. Sorry.
Either way, right. We'll catch up to it. I don't think I left too much lying on the floor in the... pick up the orb.
picked it up.
Right?
I'm way ahead of you. Let me see. It should be up any second now.
Okay.
Someone's playing Metroid Prime.
I
a bit
am
like that.
terribly sorry. Dear Herr Director, everyone else still in Miss Stream, angry, foaming mouth, or whatever. I have to go.
It works.
Angry Foreigner is my preferred misinterpretation. Thanks for stopping by, Knives, and have a good, relevant time of day wherever the hell you are.
Server's up.
All I have to do is just make breakfast for Rebecca. That's all I got to do. So, name drop. Sorry. I'll be back.
Okay,
If
well,
anyone's
I'm still here. You're still welcome to join in.
All right, later, traders.
Later.
Okay, I
So,
will make a point of popping in to make sure I haven't left too much lying around your facility.
Oh, mate, this is supposed to be yours. I'm just, the cleaning crew.
Ah,
If
right.
any.
My facility then. Unprofessional either way for me leaving lying around.
I'll take a look, quick like. But I thought I gave it all to you. I only had some flame string and
That's all entirely expendable. Especially, I know you put in a system that pops up 64 diamonds on command.
I have I'll explain the system to you another time, but my god, is it absurd. I actually had to downsize it because it was causing so much lag. I mean, it's a great problem to have.
Well, running the server.
It's client lag, not server lag.
Oh, well.
So it was causing lag for us. The only other thing that you had was the traveler's gloves right there. I just dropped on the floor, but
Okay.
there you go. It's by the Kanade. I guess the only other thing that's really new, I'm working on ways to automate stuff. Because, for instance, well, first off, we're going to have too much blood. Like, too much blood. This altar in the center here can hold 2 billion life points.
We're reaching numbers that sound like they could be used at any time just to destroy the server on a whim.
Well, 2 billion life points is more than we'll ever need. But at the same time, why not?
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, no. I mean, I intend to make, more of these rocket launchers.
You actually have rocket launchers?
Yes. And I'm gonna fill up all my slots in my hotbar with them, and basically just shoot them on chain.
That is awesome.
Oh, it's fantastic. But yes, we're gonna have lots of fun stuff. As you know, I've started creating alcohol, which is nice.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't think alcohol is as fun in game as it is out of game.
No, you're not wrong.
Well, it's all about the thought.
It's the
That
thought
is
that
true.
counts. These things right here, you can't use all of them right now, mainly because I haven't done the technical stuff for it. But these are teleportations to other people's bases. Basically, press a button and you're 7,000 blocks away.
That is cool.
That is a fast travel net.
I've been having fun stuff here, and the way I've been funding most of this, claim-wise, well, there's two ways I've been doing it. The first one is a blood magic ritual that makes it so that non-white-listed people will get teleported away. And so basically, if someone steps inside the radius of the base, they will not be in the base because they'll just get teleported away. Kind of like a claim, but it doesn't actually protect blocks. Because claim blocks are a pain on the server to get. But I got a lot of cool things. Let me see. I think you might appreciate these potions I've made. This one's bloody overpowered. If I can find you. There you go. I'll have to make you your own arsenal of stuff. Because I'm thinking that you might like there's a railgun. Or maybe a Gatling gun.
These are both
That'd be
quality
your
guns.
That'd be your style.
Again, I don't suppose there's a laser Gatling.
Laser weapons. The closest thing is a laser pistol, and that's through not blood magic. Through Botania. I can actually make it right now if you'd like. Now, shift things together. Oh yes, I've also been abducting penguins, and we have a penguin following us now. Unfortunately, I cannot instill as absurd genetic abominations upon this penguin, but it's a penguin nonetheless.
On the same floor?
It is in the stairs right now, right above. It's in between the Thaumcraft room and the storage room. And I'm sending it down now. It shall be our blood mascot. Penguin seeks blood.
And so now we know where the Linux ping.
Yeah, here it is.
You know, it's a pity you can't imbue it with proper destructive powers. Who would expect?
I mean, I can give it some stuff, but beyond that, it's not that powerful. I mean, like, I can make it so it basically has, like, diamond armor protection and some extra regeneration. That's about it.
Well, fair enough, but I suppose that's not quite enough to have it ripping the spines out of.
I can do that with some things.
What?
This...
And where did Steam disappear?
She left just a little bit ago. I think her computer's just, or her internet's giving her a hard time.
Oh dear.
I could be wrong, so. We also have these two jars here, which I can unleash. One of them has a hobgoblin. Doesn't really do anything, it's just kind of there, kind of like the penguin. The other one, well, for lack of a better term, is a Dekubaba. It actually has a name, but let's face it, it's a Dekubaba. See?
Are you seeing all this?
I'm seeing the penguin still, but I'm a bit distracted by a message that just came in. Oh dear, I have to tend to this. Right, let me see what you were working on here.
Look at that, I got a little Dekubaba. Or are you talking about the storage system?
Pardon, what floor are you on?
I'm on the same floor as you.
Oh. I approve.
Don't worry, I got rid of that thing.
Aww. I was in
Is
a
that
little
a-
grudge.
Oh my god. Awesome. You
Well, I still have it. You can, I can release it again at any time. It's right there.
Fair enough, fair enough. That... I've always had a soft spot for Pyrana-type plants, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
But-
I could have fun with it.
If you'll forgive me, I'm going to have to actually make a quick exit. Something seems to have just come up.
Understandable. You got life, mate. I can't fault you for it, and
Indeed. Sad real space demands. Well, thanks for everyone who has watched. Thank you for joining me, Ingrid Frumman. Thanks to Miss Team, who's not presently listening. I'll thank them personally afterwards. Thanks to Saki for the server, the 7 Days to Die. I wish I could have done a bit more 3D art, but apparently at the moment that's working. Until next time, progress ostensibly continues. I will be live, of course, Wednesday with the Oracle Wade. Saturday, I hope to have a guest again. Which means I let Joe Cork will go by without a tap him for chat. Oops. Well, until next time, in any case.
Bye.
Cheers!
partying continues.
Indeed.